Here at Comedy Central. Tonight at 9 o'clock, watch The A-List. At 9:30, it's The Kids in the Hall. And at 10, watch Saturday Night Live. This is Pepsi's A-List. Stay tuned for the finest stand-up comedy.
Thanks for watching Comedy Central and the A-List, and thanks for being here, and thanks for being up front, even though I spit, and there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be here. Tonight we have a phenomenal show. Mr. Blake Clark and Ms. Carrie Snow. Come on. It's been a really, so far It's been a great thing for me to host this show, and I just saw a John Lennon T-shirt. Good night, everybody. It's a great T-shirt, but it's a little depressing to sit in the front row with it. You know what I'm saying? But where was I? No, I'm teasing. It's a great shirt. I have the same picture in my house. Good night again. I'm sorry. But the A-List is, they treat me like an A comedian, like everybody else on this show, and in fact, they flew me from New York at a gig, and they flew me. Gig, by the way, in Utah means show. And I love Utah, don't get me wrong, because Utah spelled backwards means Hebrew, so if you check it out in the mirror. But they flew me on this plane that it was only first class. It was all first class. It was the most psychotic thing I've ever seen in my... The drink that went on, it was like Mardi Gras. It was like, everyone was like... The nose of the plane started to develop like red veins in the front of the... But nothing compared to last year. I did a film in Europe, and I had to fly 14 hours from LA to Rome, and I was like, I'm scared to fly, and who isn't? Most people are, but I had my doctor. I don't take drugs. And kids, condoms, no drugs, but I had to get a prescription. And he gave me, actually, he didn't give me a drug. He dressed me up like a Valium, and I rolled onto the plane. That's the only way I could get to LA to Rome in 14 hours. It was just really, I mean, because I have trouble. If I'm on the toilet for more than 2 minutes, I take Dramamine. That's how nauseous I get. But you get to Europe, love Europe, Italy, forget about it. If you haven't been there, go to Europe and go to Italy. It's so romantic. I went there with myself, and it was sad, but I tried to get away from everything, I'm walking around in Venice, Italy, man. It's like, wow, I'm in this piazza, and all of a sudden some guy taps me on the shoulder. He says, I'm opening up a comedy club next to the Vatican. It's called the Chuckle Chapel. I went, oh no, I don't. You know what I mean? Then I get to Venice, forget about it. I couldn't even make a phone call. You can't put coins in. They have like special coins for the phones. And then I put the coin in, and the operator said you have to answer. It was almost like Jeopardy, several pasta trivia questions. It was a nightmare, Then I found someone I fell in love with, and we went on a gondola, but I didn't know. I'm a schmuck. I didn't know it was a first-time gondolier. Is it a gondolier? But the gondolier, who's the guy who does it? The gondolier, right? Good night. I'm sorry. No, well, I should have known. He had bumper tires around the gondola. He didn't use oars, just his hands. It took about 8 days to get around the entire event, and then he didn't even sing like Dome Dominic. He sang like Arlo Guthrie tunes, Anyway, I have to get off because we have a big show tonight, and we'll be right back with one of the funniest comics in America, Mr. Blake Clark. Huh?
Pepsi Pepsi's A-List. We'll be back after these messages.
This summer reminder is brought to you by Pepsi. Better get yours before Shaq gets it all.
Shack attack! When you take one Memorial Day weekend, hours and hours of great stand-up, and gobs of greasy ground chuck. It's Comedy Central's Stand-Up Chuck Weekend.
You light up my life, and I love to go sledding and eat grapes.
It's a 60-hour marathon of the hottest, steamiest, chunkiest stand-up around. Watch Comedy Central's Stand-Up Chuck Weekend, May 29th, starting at noon, only at Comedy Central.
Welcome back to the A-List on Comedy Central. Keep it going. Come on, Blake Clark. Come on. Good boy. Good boy, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much. Thank you, Richard. So I'm reading where the Japanese said that Americans are all stupid and illiterate and lazy, and well, I didn't really read it. I saw it on television. I was lying there on the couch, and well, I would have changed the channel, but I had to get up and walk all the way over. My remote control is broken. I don't know how to fix it, so. So we're stupid, illiterate. See, now, I'm from Georgia, so I'm used to that. I'm used to being called stupid, illiterate, and lazy, and dumb, and ignorant, barefoot, collard green eating, pickup truck driving hillbillies who date our cousins, right? Yeah. That's what people say. Well, I never dated my cousin. Slept with her, but I never took her anywhere. I'm just kidding, ma'am. Look at you. If I had done something that disgusting with a member of my immediate family, do you think I would come on television and talk about it? Damn right I would, but I didn't. No, I didn't. But I'm going to tell you, I live here in Los Angeles, and I travel all over this great US of A of ours, and I want to tell you, I don't want to offend anybody out there. But the more that I travel, the more that I find that, well, the Japanese accusation isn't totally groundless, folks, okay? Stupidity is alive and well in America, and indeed it's actually flourishing in some places. I don't think it's necessarily confined to any geographical location. I don't think the South has the market cornered on stupidity. They may have refined it to an art form, but it's alive everywhere. Here's an example. As I said, I travel a lot. I was going to the airport here in Los Angeles, LAX. I go in there, I have my bag, I go up to the front of the line, I put my bag there, I give the woman behind the counter my ticket. I'm going one place. One place from Los Angeles to Dallas, one place, no stops in between, one place, Dallas. That's where I'm going. I give her my ticket. She looks at my ticket. She goes, do you want your bag checked all the way through to your final destination? Kinda. See, I took everything I thought I might need for the next couple of weeks, and I put it in that bag. I've just found that's a lot easier to than coming back here every time I need to change clothes. I thought that much was understood. Then they ask you this, they ask me when I was making my seat selection, they asked me if I'd be willing to sit on the emergency aisle and open the emergency exit in case of an emergency. So, well, do I get a discount or something? Well, you tell me when I can go, how long I can stay, when I can come back. I better not change my mind. I better make my reservations 30 days prior to leaving. And now I got to work for the airline? I got to clean the plane when I get there, lady? What? Geez, the height of impertinence. I don't know. And then they say you have to be able to speak and understand English to assist others in exiting the aircraft. Assist others being the operative phrase here, folks. Like I'm going to stand there calmly by an emergency exit in a burning inferno going, thank you, bye-bye, thank you, bye-bye, thank you. I don't think so. No. I don't think so. They explain to you on an airplane how a seatbelt works. Ladies and gentlemen, this is America. This is 1992. If you don't know how a seatbelt works by now, you don't deserve to survive the crash. We don't need you. It's time to thin the herd, folks. It used to be taken care of naturally. The stupid members of the herd were pushed to the outside of the herd, and the predators took them, thereby ensuring that the genes and chromosomes of the intelligence were passed on to posterity. In other words, the herbivores are out there going, hey, what are y'all eating? Where'd everybody go? Where'd everybody? What the hell's that with all them teeth? We're not talking about an overly complicated mechanism here, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about a seat belt. They're two pieces, they interlock. It's not that difficult. They hold it over they demonstrate it. They hold it over their head. You insert the metal in the box. They hold it up. The guy sitting next to me went, I can't get it up over my head. To the edge of the herd. He should be out there on the edge of the herd. You ever think that maybe Dan Quayle's out there campaigning? Hey, thanks, baby. Where'd everybody go? It's a federal regulation that they have to explain to you how a seatbelt works. They don't want to. It's a federal regulation. The same federal government that makes it mandatory to explain seatbelts to people will not enact any sort of gun control legislation. They don't trust us with seatbelts, but handguns, that's a whole other thing. When's the last time somebody went into a cafeteria in Texas with a seatbelt and killed 23 people, huh? I know what people say, hey, wait a minute. Second Amendment to the Constitution of the United States, every American has the right to keep and bear arms. That's right. It is. I looked it up. First Amendment, of course, is the freedom of speech. Thank you very much. Which makes a lot of good sense when you think about it. First Amendment's freedom of speech. Second Amendment's right to keep and bear arms. Hey, you got a gun, you can say whatever the hell you want. People will even pretend to be interested. But here's the thing, it was written 202 years ago when there were 3 million Americans, not 285 million. I don't think our founding fathers had any idea how thin the gene pool was going to be stretched, folks. I think if our founding fathers should come back now and see the people walking around armed on this continent, I kind of got a feeling they'd go, I don't think we need that number 2. All right, everybody should have a gun. Thank you very much. In the herd, thank you.
Carrie's A-List. We'll be back after these messages.
In the history of home stereo, there exists a widely embraced theory that bigger is better. Lucky for you and your home, there's also one company dedicated to shattering that myth. Presenting the Lifestyle Music System from Bose. If you've ever wished for lifelike sound without bulky equipment, powerful control, without complicated knobs and buttons, the Lifestyle Music System was created with you in mind. Because it isn't just designed for the music, it's designed for the way you listen to it. With an AM/FM stereo tuner and a full-feature compact disc player built in, the sleek command center is a stunning mix of technology and art. The virtually invisible speakers fit into the palm of your hand, and our Acoustimass bass system is designed to be hidden anywhere. Together, they create the cleanest, most lifelike stereo sound imaginable, all controlled by an amazing remote that works from anywhere in the house, even through a concrete wall. We're so sure you'll love the Lifestyle Music System. We'll give you the rare opportunity to hear it in the only setting that really counts, your own home. Call now, and you can try the Bose Lifestyle Music System in your home for 2 weeks with no obligation. Keep it and make payments as low as $51 a month. Call now for 0% financing for an entire year and save up to $200 in finance charges. Popular Mechanics calls the Lifestyle Music System the ultimate expression of stealth audio. Sound and Image rates the sound as superb. But don't just take their word for it. Find out for yourself why Bose is the most respected name in home audio. Call now for a risk-free 2-week trial of the revolutionary Bose Lifestyle Music System. You'll wonder how you ever lived without it.
Right, huh? Am I right or am I wrong? So funny. That was brilliant. Before I bring out our last guest on the A-list, I had a phone call backstage. Look, it's from Sean Young. I was in Europe. I don't know how she... This show was not even aired yet, and she had like this She picks up on like this Twilight Zone satellite dish. I don't know how she knew it. But I did a film last year with Sean Young, and I got to tell you something. She gets the worst press, or she did. I mean, I don't think she had a publicist, a couple months ago. But if it was like, "Good morning, Hitler, Hitler, and Hitler." I mean, it was like. I heard rumors, man. I was, before I did this movie, I was so scared that she, like in a hotel, she would put like an "I'm disturbed" sign outside her door. I read it. I read it, man. I read all the tabloid crap, that she had a fist fight and won against Bigfoot. I said, oh, man, And that one of her ex-lovers, one of her stars in one of her movies, jilted her, and she actually rented a stampede of cattle to run through his suite while he was asleep, But I know. It didn't work. It was all, to me, it was all BS, because she was great. She bought me a present. After this film we did, she bought me a computer, which was, quite a hefty gift. All right, granted, one button, blood poured out of it. But, but hey, you can't have it all. I mean, you know what I mean? I think we have it all now. We have a very different looking and yet the same brain of a comedian who I know for many years. And, hey, what can you say? Carrie Snow.
I think it just happened for us. Can I have the stand? Go away now, honey. All right.
I'm an old Jew. It takes a time.
I know, honey. When you want a real woman, you call me. All right. I could dye my hair blonde and carry a tray, I swear. All right. Well, we're here. We're together. Hello. Do I actually need this? Yes. I do? Okay. Hi. My name is Carrie Snow. Hi. I'm wearing a spandex jumpsuit. Call 911. Women love jumpsuits, don't we? Because they're so comfortable. I'm very comfy right now. Unless, of course, we have to go to the ladies' room and then drag the top half of our clothing through human filth. We hate that part, don't we? And women do go to the ladies' room together. I don't know if we've seen that particular sociological experience this evening, but we do. And it's not that we're doing anything terrible. It's just sometimes guys say such stupid stuff to us, we have to go into a small tiled room with our very best friend and go, Now, see, I want to know where men learn how to say the things that they say to women, because the only time I know that we were actually separated was when we were like 12 years old and they showed the girls that movie about how our life was going to be garbage forever. Remember that movie? Remember? And then they gave you a pamphlet afterwards in case it didn't hit you full force right there. It was horrifying, and it's so cute because my niece is 12 now, and she just became a woman, you know. And it's an occasion in a family because you go, it's so frightening. And it's weird. My sister's kids are growing up. My best friend just had her third child, and yeah, she'll be sterilized by the state soon. I won't be having any kids. You can sleep pretty easily on that one tonight. I can't have kids because, well, I have white couches. But makes sense, doesn't it? And she just had her third baby, and I was there that day. I've always been out of town, or she was out of town for the other kids, and I got to hold the baby on the first day, you know, and her 2.5-year-old little girl isn't real pleased. Little sibling rivalry like that day. And she goes, I think I need to stay at the hospital. I'm sick too. Yeah, Becky, let it go. And no, Becky's my niece, and Alyssa's hers, and oh God, they're just children, and they're not mine, and that's all that really matters. But I asked my best friend how, you know, I said, how are you? How are you? And she goes, well, you know those cowboy movies where the hero jumps off the roof of Sal's saloon right onto his horse? Now I know how he feels. So, gosh, that made everybody cross their legs, didn't it? And yeah, but Ann is my shopping pal. Ann is my best friend. She really is. It's so cool. You know, she thinks I'm too thin. I think she's a natural blonde. We're very close. And I just recently had to deal with a lot of my shopping. I had a garage sale with some friends, but it was better than a garage sale. It was a hyper garage sale. It was a bunch of us all together, and we'd never had one before. We called it the Imelda Marcos Memorial Estate Sale, actually. Well, isn't she the patron saint of any kind of excessive shopping, isn't she? You know, I mean, of course, my slogan is, if the shoe fits, buy it in every single color it comes in. And so I have this garage sale, and you invite friends to your garage sale because you want them to come over and buy your stuff so you can go to their house and look at your stuff one more time, all right? And also, it's boring out there. It's early in the morning. It's not my time of day. I haven't had breakfast. Birds are singing. I'm going... And I grew up in a retail family, and so I get into the retail mode. You know, it's $1, a word on TV. And, and cars are driving by. I'm lifting up my sundress going, come on, come on, come on. And scary people are coming by your house. You know, people, you don't even think English is their second language, okay? Most of them look like they had their teeth capped by somebody in a van, all right? And they're driving by the house. I'm going, come on, come on, come on. And my friend Suzanne dropped by, and before I trash her, I have to say that she's like an accomplished television producer. She's won local Emmys and stuff, but she's still like the irritating little sister I never wanted, okay? And she's always thinking of things to go shopping for that I have no interest in buying at all. Like the latest was a girdle slip. She wanted me to go buy a girdle slip, all right? I said, you know, they're like a girdle and a slip at the same time. I don't even want to tell you because you're young and fresh and I don't want to hurt you. Well, well, I do, but you must be this tall to get on this ride. All right, so, hey, settle down, kids. There's a lovely woman I can see sitting there in the purple dress right in the back going, boy, I'm glad she's not my daughter. All right. And what was I talking about? I looked at this little boy and I got pelvic congestion, forgot where I was. All right, okay. Girdle slips. So Suzanne wants to go buy girdle slips. And I said, Susie, I don't think you even know how old I am because I remember being in the 8th grade wearing a belt and a pad, underpants, a garter belt, nylon stockings, a panty girdle, petty pants, a slip, and a tight skirt going, where has my youth gone? You know? No, Susie, I won't be wearing a panty girdle or a girdle slip. Not this century, not the next century, not even if my behind spreads out all over Petaluma. All right? So we're at the garage sale and cars are driving by and I'm going, come on, come on, come on. But I really did grow up. My dad had a men's clothing store when I was a kid, and of course I was the inseam specialist. Ooh, you got a little slow there. And God, I would just want to slap you people. And you'd say thank you after. And cars are driving by. And then I have a question to ask. Does anybody besides me have a problem with men who wear shorts with no underpants? Does anybody besides me? Okay. You don't like it. A couple people don't like it, and the rest of you people, the stewardess hardly approve of the practice. All right. Yeah, okay, thank you. You're begging now, honey. And so, you know, I guess maybe one gentleman, a friend of another friend, had forgotten to wear his underpants that day, and I'm facing the street going, come on, come on, come on. And Suzanne is facing me, and all of a sudden she goes, Carrie, turn around really, really slowly, all right? And so I was trying to be as discreet as possible, and and she goes, well, Carrie, what do you have to say about that? And I said, they're 2 for 50 cents, and I'm not breaking up the set. All right? Anyway, thank you very much. It was fun, huh? I have a convertible.
Pepsi's A-List will be back after these messages.
When it's this hot, don't take chances. Only Armor All Protectant guarantees your new car's dash from cracking. There is a fountain of youth, and we guarantee it. Armor All.
Hi, may I take your order? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Just a reminder, the fries you go out for are now in. Fast fries from Ore-Ida.
Hello?
Susie Hamilton, U.S. middle distance runner.
What was good enough yesterday just isn't good enough today. You can't hang on to old victories. That's what performance is all about. That's why I like this stuff so much. It's not the old way of doing things. Shampoo and conditioner in one, Pert Plus. It gives me the results I'm after. Soft, manageable hair with not a lot of fuss. Who needs the old way of getting there?
Pert Plus, also in dandruff control.
Celebrate the American spirit this spring with First Choice. Catch the great American pastime with Tom Hanks, Gina Davis, and Madonna in a league of their own.
That's good advice.
Experience true romance and heroism with Daniel Day-Lewis in the great American novel brought to life, The Last of the Mohicans. Find Robert Redford in the classic American caper Sneakers. Or live the American dream with Martin Short and Kurt Russell in Captain Ron. Get the best choices with First Choice movies delivered right to your living room. So celebrate the American spirit this spring on First Choice.
Peaceful man is never gonna let us go, is he? I don't care what you have to do. You just get him. Drawn into a complex mystery.
Where's Sean Miller? Get me hostage rescue at Quantico now.
A family man forced into a game of life and death.
Airborne support approaching target area.
Patriot Games, starring Harrison Ford and Ann Archer on HBO and Paragon Cable, May 23rd and 31st at 9:10 Pacific.
Prepare yourself for the reckless comedy of the kids in the hall.
Are you dead? No. Are you? No.
Next, only at Comedy Central.
Thanks for watching Comedy Central. We'll see you next time. Great audience. Ow, I just sprained my wrist.
You guys met?
You look like Frank Nitti. I love Frank Nitti. Don't get me wrong. Oh, there you are. I'm so paranoid after JFK. You say one thing wrong about the mob. No, Frank Nitti could dance. He did the cha-cha well.
Richard,
Oh.
you would be so happy with me.
You think so?
You want to be in pain, I could make
I know
you
you're
pain.
a great love. I heard from thousands of people.
This has been a presentation from Comedy Central.
It's been a really, so far it's been a great thing for me to host this show, and